Hello, I hope everyone has had a great day. I am out at my garden that is full of weeds. It doesn't even look like a garden anymore. It looks like a weed bed. We were all gung-ho about our garden this year and decided to do an in-ground garden. And then we were very good at keeping up with it for the first while. I mean, for spring, we had a good spring crop. We had lettuce, we had carrots. We still have some carrots. We have, gosh, it's hot and there's bugs. What else did we do? Oh, peas. The peas were wonderful. But then our summer crop has not been great, and it's really because we have let it go badly. But I'm going to come and pick what I can out here. And then I am going to share with y'all some of the updates from yesterday. I did manage to get 9 bags. Sorry, I was reading something. I did manage to get 9 container bags of tomato sauce frozen. So that's good. And we're working on the lima beans today and green beans. And so I'm going to pick a few things out here. When I say our stuff is dead and hot, this is what I mean. Everything's getting really green. I mean, dry and brown. I said green, but it's not green. I wish it was all really pretty and green, but it's not that great. So I'm going to pull some of these crops and then share with you what we have. Share with you a couple of things I've learned this year from our experience. My dad did have a garden almost every year when I was growing up, and I helped in it, but I never thought I would have a garden one day, and not until recently have I really had the urge to do that. And over the past 2 years, I've done planters on my deck, and it's been okay. It's given us a few things. This year we did a garden, and like I said, our early crop, our spring crop, did great. Our summer crop has not. I'm going to tell you a few things that I'm definitely already going to do differently. One is to till in some type of ground conditioner for our soil. We live where there's really rocky, hard dirt here, soil. And so we did add some peat moss and some soil conditioner to it before we planted it this year, but I'm going to add some more before winter, and we're going to till it into the ground so that it can kind of condition the ground for when spring does get here. And then I'm going to stay on top of the weeds because it's bad. I'm going to make sure that I stake up my tomato plants good. We're going to do better at staking up a lot of stuff because we did not do that great this year. And all of those things. I mean, it's so bad out here. I'm honestly afraid I'm going to step on a snake in my own garden. That's horrible. But if you see here, we did get some corn, some tomatoes. I'm going to let a couple of them ripen inside. One of them's almost ready. And then the teeniest green pepper in there. And now I'm going to go up. I was going to pull a carrot. I'll have to do it tomorrow. I don't want to go back in there. We've got some blueberry bushes and a grape tree that hopefully those will be ready to produce next year too. I work a full-time job and teach lessons and homeschool and work at 2 churches, and my husband works a full-time job, and with all the running around of kids, when we get home we barely have time to breathe in the evening. So getting stuff done in the yard has not been our priority, but we're just gonna have to start focusing more on that. So I just picked a jalapeno pepper. I cannot remember what these other peppers are called. This little pepper tree right here, if you can see the little pepper, they get a little bigger than this, but they're a really sweet pepper. And I've been, whew, there's bugs out here. And I've been putting them on my pizzas when I make homemade pizzas, and they are so good. So yeah, and there's a few cherry tomatoes over here that I'm going to pick. And then the ones that have the different color, right, that we talked about yesterday, we got some cherry tomatoes. So I didn't get a whole lot out here. I did get a few things. And yeah, so I'm gonna head back inside and show you the progress that we made with the freezer yesterday, and then the things that we're working on to freeze today. So tonight I'm trying to throw together some quesadillas really quick. I am cutting up some boneless, skinless. These are actually some thin cut chicken breasts that were on sale. Putting them in a pan to cook for a little bit, and then I'll season. And I've got some cheese already shredded right here in my container that I shredded, and I'm also going to grill up some veggies. I need to wash my hands though. This big pile that you see right there in front of you is a bunch of bell peppers and banana peppers that I am going to cut up. I'm gonna slice and dice. I don't know, I might just slice because I can dice them after. I'm just gonna slice them and then put them on some parchment paper on some cookie sheets and pop them in the freezer for an hour or two, and then pull them out and put them into separate them into some baggies, and they will freeze like that so that I can pull them out and use them for other times of the year. So you see right here I have quite a bit of banana peppers and bell peppers that I'm gonna do the same thing to. Right now I am going to grab an onion that rinse off these scissors before I put them in the sink. I'm going to grab an onion that was from our garden and one of these bell peppers and slice them up to use to put in the fajitas. My family absolutely loves fajitas. And my two girls mainly just like cheese, chicken, and black peppers in theirs. Not peppers. Black beans. My husband and my son and I, we like peppers and onions in ours. So I am going to cut up some of that. I'm going to put you right here, and I will be right there. Got my onion here. Gonna dice it up. I just cut it in half and then cut it into slices. And then I just turn it and cut that in half. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Turn it down just a little bit more so maybe you can see. So it's already half of an onion, a little skin on it. Going to cut it in slices as thin or as thick as you want it, and you don't have to cut it in half again if you don't want to, or you could dice them if you wanted to. We like the slices in ours, so after I cut them in slices, then I turn it like this and then I cut them in half, so then there's almost quarters of onions. People always do their peppers different ways. I do them different ways too. Sometimes I cut the bottom off and cut it down. Sometimes I core it out. All different ways to do it. Today, I am just trying to do it quickly, so I'm going down the sides, and I do have that left. And then I am just going to go over here, and there's one little black piece on there that I'm going to cut out because I do not want that piece. I'm going to slice. I pulled this from the pile of peppers behind me that I'm going to use in our to freeze. I'm just going to cut up 2 of these pretty quickly. There's one, here's another one. This This is like a quick go-to meal for me. The longest part is after you've cooked everything, putting the quesadillas together and melting the stuff, melting them in the pans, because I don't like bake mine or anything. So as you see, I just cut these in slices, and I'm going to put some olive oil over top of it and just saute those down as tender as you want. And I've got my chicken cooking. It's not ready for me to put seasoning in yet, but I'm just gonna kind of chunk that up a little bit. Just gonna brown it so of course there's no more pink, because we don't want to get sick from chicken. And said I already have my cheese. The other thing I'm going to use is tonight I'm just doing a can of black beans. Sometimes I cook my black beans fresh and add like seasoning and stuff to it, and it's a lot better that way. I don't have time to do that tonight because I'm doing all this other freezing. So I'm just going to put a can in the pot. The other thing I'm working on right now is all of these lima beans. We did do all of them, shelled all of them. Now we're rinsing them off, making sure we get any of the dirt and stuff off of it. And I'm making sure there's no, I have found a couple with some black spots on it that I've thrown out that my daughter didn't catch, like this one. And I'm just gonna boil these, and then when they're done, I'm going to bag them up and freeze them. So I'm throwing together quesadilla. Got the tortilla right here. I'm gonna put some of the cheese that I shredded. This is just a Colby back. I cannot talk tonight. Colby Jack cheese. I'm gonna put the cheese on. I'm going to put some of the peppers and onions that I grilled up, and I'm gonna put a spoonful of black beans. Of course, you can put however much you want. And then I'm gonna put some meat, and I will show you then what it looks like. I put just a little bit of the sauce from the meat. And then after I put everything on top of it like that, I just put a tiny bit of cheese to act as the glue on top of all of those meats and veggies. Just a tiny bit, not a lot, because it will glue both the tortillas together. Then I have a pan, which is like my favorite tortilla quesadilla making pan. This big pan right here that I'm going to, I should have already been getting hot, but I have started it now. And then I am putting that quesadilla in the pan, this on top. I put my heat between low and medium because they will burn quickly. And then I keep my plate to keep making quesadillas. While I'm making these quesadillas, I'm slicing up these peppers that I'm putting on a tray to go in the freezer to get ready to put in freezer bags and freeze. So I'm going to show you that real quick. I'm trying to get everything done because my family is wanting to eat. So come with me over to the pan. I have these peppers, and if you see, I have already started putting these on the tray. They don't have to be there on any rhyme or reason, but I'm going to fill this tray up, and then I will pop them in the freezer. So while we've got a quesadilla heating up, I'm going to run you out to my garage to show you the organization of my garage freezer that has mainly meat in it. It got dark all of a sudden. It does have a little bit of extra stuff, but mainly it's meat. So I'm going to turn you around. So if you look, I've got my patties. There's the bulk of all the tomatoes that I made last night. Chicken, some freezer stuff. This is the fajita steak that I buy from my fresh farm. I've got some butter up here. This is some pork stuff up here on top. And then I have, this is ground beef, seafood, sausages and bacon up there. And then this is some of the extras like breads and stuff like that. So we are completely stocked up right now on our meat. Back in and check our quesadilla and make sure it's not burning. I smell it. I smell it. I also had the lima beans boiling. I didn't show those, but I've got those boiling to get ready to put in the freezer. They are right here. They'll take a little bit of time to boil. I'm going to check. If you see it starting to melt down, I'm one of those crazy people that use them, but it hasn't done anything to get hard on the bottom yet. So I'm gonna put y'all here while I'm cutting up a few more peppers. When we start back our homeschool lessons, I will get more into my planning. We went on a vacation just a couple weeks ago, and I feel like I have been playing catch up ever since we've gotten back. And putting stuff in my freezer is one of the things that I've needed to do, to stock up on meats and veggies. So that was my goal this week, and I'm getting it done. So yeah, I will come back and show you the quesadillas when one of them gets done in a minute. Quesadilla looks like it's done. I'm gonna pull it out of the pan. And here's what it looks like. Let me pick you up so you can see better. Beautiful color. I usually cut it in 4 to 6 pieces. And that is going to be our dinner tonight with some homemade ranch with it. So yeah, that's where I'm going to stop for today. And if there's anything you request to see, just let me know. Have a great night.